Hi everyone, welcome on YourPedia, and today I'm sitting here in IIT Mandi with Professor Tushar Jain. Thanks a lot, Professor Jain, for giving your time.
Yeah, thank you for visiting IIT Mandi also.
Yeah, so today I'm going to interact with Professor Jain in his capacity as head of career and placement at IIT Mandi. Though Professor Jain represent three domains, I must say. One is career and placement, another is Center for Continuing Education, and third is his own technical research domain, that is automation and control. But this particular video is related to career and placement. Professor Jain, needless to say, this is the most important department as far as students and their curiosity is concerned.
True.
Yeah.
And in fact, this is, what students actually look for.
Yes.
And beyond the students, what their parents actually look for.
Yeah. That is the first question they have in their mind whenever they feel like joining some department. So, Professor Jain, I start with my first question only. As far as the placement situation is concerned in IIT Mandi, what is your overall view on that?
Yeah, for the placements at IIT Mandi, if I talk about the overall statistics of the IIT, nevertheless, this is a second generation IIT. So, first of all, the students give first or second thought that whether they should opt for the second generation IIT or they would prefer to stay in their own state, be at NIT or whatever the college has a better placement statistics.
Yes.
So this is the first thought. But if we see for the last 5 years of the placement statistics particularly, so the numbers were quite good. In fact, we were fourth or fifth, I think, according to the ranking, particularly for the placement in comparison to the older IIT as well. So we have 7 BTech disciplines. We have many MTech programs in different disciplines. So the student intake in all the discipline is quite good, and likewise finally their placements. So it's not only that the IIT Mandi attracts only the company from a particular sector, but all the companies from different sectors participate in the recruitment round of IIT Mandi.
Okay, so Professor Jain, do we have this kind of general statistics or data about the percentage of the students in UG, PG getting placed, maybe last year or something?
So for the last year, if we talk about the percentage placement of the students, so it was around 97 to 98% of students
who were placed.
And this 2 or 3% is because of their grades were low or something like that,
or maybe they did not want it,
or maybe they did not want it as also. So because of this only, because we count the student as how many students have registered to the placement
activity.
So it might be the scenario that when the season begins, all the students register to the placement cell, but they might not be sitting finally when they are about to graduate.
Yes.
So because of this, so in fact these numbers have been improved for the last 5 years. So our highest was the last year itself. So 97 to 98% of students who were placed across all the branches. In fact, so the current recruitment drive is ongoing. So it would be finished by mid-June. Possibly. So by that time we would have the consolidated numbers that how many participated, how many were placed in BTech, PG, MTech program, and the PhD programs as well.
So Professor Jain, do we have some particular time duration during which the placement activities go on, or there are some phases or something?
So there are 2 aspects of the career and placement cell in which we operate. So first is the internship. So we facilitate 2 things to our students. One is the internship drive, and another is the placement drive. So by placement I mean to say that the final job selection. So the internship round goes for around the year. So it's over 12 months. But for the final job selection, so we start inviting the company after mid-June, but they start recruiting the students after the first week of September. So from the first week of September, you can count the start of the placement drive. and it goes, so the first, so divide the overall drive is divided into two phases. First phase is from September to December.
Okay.
January is the winter vacation. So most of the students leave for their hometown or for some other internship as well. And then we start in again February, the second phase. So this goes up to mid-June. So during these two phases, all our students
get placed
in the recruitment drive.
Okay. Now, Professor, when we talk about placements, nowadays students always have this query about placement in what kind of companies. Like they divide the companies into main categories: core companies, non-core companies. What I mean by that is, like if there is electrical engineer or civil engineer, when you get a company or related to civil engineering, he calls it as core placement. But suppose he gets a job in IT sector, or data science or marketing or finance, they call it non-core placements. So I want to take your opinion about core and non-core placements in IIT Mandi.
I see. So there is a common misconception regarding this core and non-core. So I I won't blame you. But the thing is, so we have not done this we did not distinguish between the core and non-core like this. That if the student is from, let's say, X branch, so whatever the companies demand for those X branch students, those companies becomes automatically the core companies.
Core companies, yes.
So we, in fact, from the career and placement cell side, we have started some new initiatives in the last couple of years, which finally promoted or enhanced our recruitment drive. So some couple of initiatives are that we enable the double major program, first of all. This double major program means, say for example, if the student enters into the BTech program in civil engineering, let's say, so he can get a second major in computer science.
Okay.
So now all the civil engineering companies, we cannot call that it's a core company for the civil engineering students. So now the student has the two major. He can also sit for the computer science.
For him, that is also core.
Yeah. So for him, but again, I'll come back to that. So we don't divide the core and non-core depending on in which branch the student is.
Okay.
So I'll come on to that in a couple of minutes. So first initiative is this double major.
Okay.
Now in addition to this double major, we also have this minor program.
Okay.
So let's say the student enters into the BTech program in civil engineering.
Okay.
Now he, depending on his interest or his or her interest, he or she can opt for the second major in computer science. So these are the two majors. Now minor he can or she can have in the intelligence systems. So now when the student takes his or her CV to the company sees, okay, the student has a civil engineering, computer science, and the student also has a minor intelligence system. So it's kind of a specialized direction in intelligence system. So which facilitate the students to be eligible for a wide variety of companies depending on what skill sets are posed by the company. So this is the first thing. Now core and non-core, we take this data from the students.
Okay.
So say for example, our curriculum is so flexible that it might be possible. Nevertheless, the student needs to do certain number of core courses in X branch, in wherever he or she has taken the admission. Now we have so many elective courses. The student might become interested towards, let's say, bioengineering also. Why not?
That's true.
Then once he or she register to the CNP cell, then the student declares that, okay, these are the companies depending on my skill set are my core companies. If I get this job in this, then it would be counted towards my core profile. If not, or if because it's a skill set.
Right.
So if the student gets the job in the another sector, or let's say by God's grace, let's say, then it becomes a non-core. But we have some rules that if the student gets a core company, then he can sit for the non-core or non-core or something like that. So this is how we define our core and non-core companies. Yeah.
Okay. So nowadays, I mean, departments are also following lot of interdisciplinary curriculum. That is what we can say. Like as you said, major and minor we are adding. So that technical knowledge should be made truly interdisciplinary. You can use computer science in civil engineering, and those kind of things can be done.
I mean, still computer science and civil if you see from the outside,
Mhm.
they still appear as the technical side. Now, since IIT Mandi has taken initiative and has opened a new center on Indian knowledge system and mental health application. So it's a completely different kind of a center. So now the students are also taking their minor programs
Okay.
in Indian knowledge system.
Okay.
So now they are combining this Indian knowledge with their technical education to come up with some innovative
Wonderful.
ideas or some innovations. So this is the basic idea. And not only this, now the minor program students, likewise other IIT, they can also take in some language courses, for example, French, German, something like that. Also, they can take their minor in humanities as well.
Okay.
Which further help them to sit for the civil services examination.
Okay, wonderful.
So they take their major in, let's say, their major part of their civil service examination in those areas.
Wonderful. Professor, we always have this kind of discrete, classification in, when we talk about the placements, there is a segregation between UG and PG students. Like UG get more jobs, PG get little less jobs. There can be many reasons for that. What is your view on placements of UG students and PG students in IIT Mandi?
Yeah, so this is the good question, because there is also once again I will say that it's a kind of a misconception from the outside world when they say that there are less number of companies for the PG and there are more number of companies for the UG students. So this is the situation is not like this. So in fact, IIT Mandi has what they have done new to cater all these things. So likewise we have several schools. So for example, School of Computing, Electrical Engineering, School of Mechanical, and School of Humanities, say for example. So we have how we have structured the system, that we have one head for the career placement cell. Then we have several faculty co-advisors from different schools. So now the role of this faculty co-advisor is to deal with the local aspects of the students. Say for example, because anyhow one or the other student is associated with one of the school. So say for example, the student is from the School of Mechanical. So we have a faculty co-advisor from the School of Mechanical, and all the students, be it UG, be it PG, including MTech and PhD programs, so they interact on day-to-day basis with the faculty co-advisors. And then whenever a company, whenever we invite the company to participate in our recruitment drive, so they come up with their skill sets and their requirements. Now, based on their requirements, we discuss with the company that this skill set you can not only find in our BTech or particularly, let's say, PG students, you will find in a variety of across the programs. So based on that discussion, we allow all our students to sit in that company, irrespective of whether the student is a UG student or it's a MTech or a PhD student.
So depends what skill set you have acquired.
Skill set is required by the company.
And what you have acquired.
Yes, and what specialty IIT Mandi has.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So it's all students participate, irrespective of whether it's a UG student or a
PG students. Wonderful. Achha, Professor Jan, when we talk about IIT Mandi, all of us are aware that geographical location of IIT Mandi is deep in Himachal Pradesh and couple of hundreds of kilometers from Chandigarh, that is a main city. So is that one of the constraints in getting good placement or bringing companies all the way to Mandi?
In fact, company loves to come to our campus. They actually loves to visit our campus because if you see, if you go to the plains at this time, we are in April. Yeah. So in April, they have already switched on
harsh
their
weather.
air conditioners. But here we have not even started using our ceiling fans, regular ceiling fans. So they actually love to visit the campus. So and unlike other places, whenever the company visits, they don't go in 2 or 3 people. Here we invite the whole team. So likewise, one company came for the placement to participate in our placement drive. So there was a team of 11 people. And they stayed with us for 3 days. And here there is no place to go. no place to go in the sense we don't have the mall, we don't have malls, we don't have the cinema theaters. It's the natural beauty.
Yeah.
So people loves to visit. So saying that the geographical location, okay, it's obviously it is far from the like
Main
what you
city,
said, some Chandigarh or some cities like Chandigarh and New Delhi. But people loves to come here. And now since we have the new operational 4-lane highway, so the distance has become even
lesser. Yes, they are almost going to open it.
Yeah,
out.
I mean, they have started opening in some patches.
Yes.
So the distance, if you consider from Chandigarh airport to IIT Mandi, it will take hardly 3 hours.
Okay, once everything is open.
Once all the tunnels, all the 4 lanes are operational.
Wonderful.
By road. And when you come by road, I mean, it's fantastic beauty.
So what we think can be bottleneck or constraint actually is one of the attraction point for companies to visit. Because they're very close to Kullu, Manali and all these places.
And also I would like to add here that we are not so strict in terms of conducting the in-person recruitment drive. So we sometimes company ask us, and we provide them this flexibility that if they want to conduct this online or in the hybrid mode, this can also be done. So we also have a big team of around 50 to 55 volunteers, each other who are the students volunteers. So the exams are proctored, everything is proctored, so the company is also relaxed in that sense that they don't need to go there and they can believe on us that okay, whatever
authenticity is ensured.
Second thing is there are sometimes some companies want to conduct some, let's say, what do you call, where some other universities also
joint drive,
not joint drive, let's say a single point recruitment drive. So where they invited other colleges,
at one location,
they brought them to one single place and then they conduct the recruitment drive. So in that case also we facilitate our students. So whatever their expenses are, travel expenses are,
that is met out.
So those are also reimbursed by the institute. So the students who feel that who will pay for the expenses if they want to travel to some other cities to participate in the company's recruitment drive, then the students do not face any issues.
Professor Jan, I want to ask you another question. Like when we talk about the specialized courses in IIT Mandi, we have courses like electrical engineering and computing, Department of Electrical Engineering, Computing. There are courses which are more, required by industries, and the placements are very good in those companies. But at the same time, we have some another departments also, let's say bioengineering, for which companies may be less, and those are also very specialized courses. So there is always this question in the mind of students that if I join bioengineering and not computing department, will I get placement or not, and whether I should join this department or not. So what is your view on that?
So I would say that you are correct in one sense. Before you enter into the IIT system, then it appears that okay, if I choose this branch, so this branch is kind of a hot topic or a hot branch. So so students comes with the mentality that even if I do less and because the branch is good, then I would definitely go into place. But this is how the things won't work. So what happens that once the student enters into the IIT system, likewise I said that we initiated so many activities like double major, minor program. We have also facilitated the 6 months internship program, semester long internship program, so that the student can go for the semester long for an entire semester. So all these opportunities IIT Mandi provides to our students. Now ultimately we have also seen in the past that some student comes with a mindset that they want to get a good job, so they enters into IIT Mandi, but because or possibly because of our curriculum or the flexibility we provide in our curriculum, many of the students might become interested in doing higher research or higher studies.
Obviously, and students go for that.
So and sometimes what happens that students, let's say, go for a couple of years to the job, and then ultimately he goes for the higher studies. So, I mean, it's also good in one sense that the education should always be, you should always be enhancing your education, but this, we provide all the opportunities to our students, whether they want to sit for the placements, whether, or placement, by placement I mean to say, whether they want to land in the industries. We also invite some universities also. If the students are interested in becoming a faculty in some other institutes, so we also invite those institutes, universities as well, and many of our students are interested.
They go for
So
that.
they don't need to go like the regular person from other institutes.
So they have different needs. Understood. Professor Jain, I have come to almost an end of this wonderful session and asked all the questions which I thought of asking. Now my last point to you is, any message you want to give to all the students who are watching you as a training and placement head of this
so regarding this
career and placement,
so to all the students I would say one thing, that whatever it seems like from the outside, IIT has beyond much to offer to you, right? And particularly IIT Mandi, because likewise we have been discussing for some couple of other initiatives. So there are ample amount of opportunities for the students, and these opportunities not only motivate the students to participate in the industries, but also go for the higher studies.
They groom them for overall career.
Yeah. And in fact, so many, I would say, there are activities that student comes from a mindset that they want to excel in this, but as they nurture, as they as they progress in their academic curriculum, their interest may change. So so I would suggest that become a part of IIT Mandi and
enjoy the life and career both.
And the nature also.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Professor Jain, for your time, and it was wonderful talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Same here.